So this is the video that could really get me in trouble. Why is that, you ask? Well, because I'm going to give you Stephan's picks for the 10 best neighborhoods in Staunton, Virginia. Oh boy, you want to find out what those are? Well then hang around to the end of the video, but let's go ahead and get started right now. Hi, my name's Stephan, along with my wife Leslie. As local real estate agents here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, we get texts, phone calls, and emails all the time from folks just like you. We're looking to sell a home or to purchase a home, and as real estate agents, we love to help those folks when they call, and we're thankful for all of those of you who have called, and we've been able to help. So, if you're still looking, our contact information's in the description down below. We'd be happy to help you as well. Additionally, if you like our channel, we'd be honored if you click that subscribe button, touch that bell icon so that you can be notified when our videos come out. Yes, it helps our channel, but it also helps people possibly like you who are looking to learn more about our area. So help us and help others as well by doing that. Before I get into today's video, I wanted to talk to you a little bit here about this dedication monument that I have behind me here. As you can see, this is the monument to the Statler brothers, who were local individuals here that put on a concert every 4th of July for 25 years. Of course, some of their favorite songs, Flowers on the Wall, or more popular songs, I should say, Flowers on the Wall, Do You Remember These? And like I say, for 25 years, these local residents, popular especially during the 70s, 80s, and 90s, came back here to the city of Staunton and did this many times nationally televised event here from Staunton, Virginia. So, just another neat thing about our history here in Staunton, Virginia. So now into today's video. So Staunton's 10 best neighborhoods, according to Stephan. Well, first of all, let me say this was a very hard choice. There's 69 neighborhoods in Staunton, official neighborhoods, and there's 185 subdivisions, so I couldn't imagine pick the top 10 of those. But like I say, the top 10 neighborhoods was not easy to do. So if your neighborhood isn't on the list, comment and tell me why it should be on the list, okay? Likewise, if it is, comment and tell me why you love your neighborhood. So, and also comment, do you agree with these 10 neighborhoods here in Staunton? Now, one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because a couple weeks ago, I put out a video about Kirby AI, which is a company in Miami, Florida, who told us what their 10 best neighborhoods were. And I'll say this, there's some things they got right, but there was a lot of things that they got wrong throughout some of their comments here on their webpage. That being said, the reason that is because they just scrape information off the internet, and we talk a lot about our historical neighborhoods here in Staunton, which is what are a lot of the neighborhoods that they mentioned. Now, not anything wrong with our historical neighborhoods, but what are some of the other neighborhoods? I mean, so I looked at many different types of neighborhoods and tried to categorize them down in a lot of different ways you can do it, but for the sake of simplicity, I categorized them into 3 different types. First of all, historic neighborhoods, established neighborhoods, and new or newer neighborhoods. Now, some of these are going to overlap and be in one category or the other, but I think it'll get us a good idea of Staunton. Now, in order to be on the list, this is why some got left out, in order to be on the list, a neighborhood had to meet a couple of criteria. First of all, it had to be within the city limits of Staunton, okay? And then additionally, it had to have at least 5 homes that had sold over the last 2 years. So you'll see some of those in the honorable mention. So hang around, here we go. Gonna show you 10 my favorite, I don't know about my favorite, what I think are the best neighborhoods in Staunton, and some of them are my favorites, but they're a little bit later on in the video. So hang around throughout the video so you can see all 10 and then tell me what you think. All right, so we're here in our first neighborhood, and man, what a great one to start in. We're in the Dogwood neighborhood, which I would consider an established/historical neighborhood. There's a couple different subdivisions here in this neighborhood, but the build dates, what makes it historical, there's a lot of homes that were built back here as far back as 1869 and all the way up to about 1991. But most of the homes in this neighborhood were built between about 1940 and about 1970. Of course, there's a mixture types of homes here, and you're going to see a lot of large homes with larger yards. I mean, very stately type homes. It's just a real beautiful, quiet neighborhood, and it's got kind of a multiple feel to it as well. It's like a small town type feel with large homes, but it's also a little bit of an urban feel because you're only about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile from downtown Staunton. Now, in this neighborhood, there's been 21 homes that have sold in the last 2 years. And there's one home that's currently pending, and additionally there's 2 homes that are currently for sale on the market, and those homes are right around about that $1 million price tag. Now, the median sales price in this neighborhood was $575,000, and that ranged from $287,500 all the way up to $1,385,000. So kind of what I'd like to do here in this video is to show you 3 homes in each neighborhood, and the lowest home that sold over the last 2 years, the median priced home, and the most expensive home. So let's start with that lowest price home. That lowest price home here, as you can see, is a nice little Cape Cod, and it's only sold for $287,500. So why so inexpensive? Well, the reason it sold so inexpensively, it was actually converted into offices. So you're going to have to reconvert everything back into bedrooms if you're going to live in it and not use it for an office area. The median value home here is pictures just don't do this beautiful, beautiful ranch home justice. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. It sold for $575,000, and it's really just kind of a home that's indicative of a median priced home in this neighborhood. And then finally, we've got the largest home, the most expensive home that's sold. And I mean, how about just going back to that 1869 mansion and sitting on 2.3 acres? What a beautiful property that it is. It's known as the Fair House, and it's a historic home. I mean, imagine if walls could talk. And like I say, it sold for $1,385,000. So that's the first neighborhood, the Dogwood neighborhood. It's a great one, but let's go to our next one. Okay, so we've gone just a tad further up on North Augusta Street, and we're on the other side of North Augusta this time, and we are in the Forest Hills neighborhood, which I would say is a very well-established neighborhood. Most of the homes in here were built between the 1950s and 1960s. There's a few after that, though. But I mean, this beautiful boulevard going right up and down its main street. Just a really neat thing about the neighborhood. Now, there's a section of larger $1 million+ homes in this neighborhood as well, but this neighborhood's got, of course, mature trees, and it really has that small town, urban / residential type feel. Now, there's been 8 homes that have sold in this neighborhood over the last 2 years, and there's none that are pending, but there's one actually for sale for $1.25 million right now. Now, the median price of the homes sold in this neighborhood was $439,000, and they ranged in price between $399,000 and $1.1 million. So, a little bit about the homes here. When you look at that lowest cost of the home sold, that $399,000 home is a traditional style home, and this home, when you look inside of it, it's really been well cared for. The median priced home, the ranch that sold for $475,000, really has a lot of windows, a lot of lights. Like I said, I wish I could show you more pictures, but for the sake of time, we'll have to move on. But a really, really nice home in this neighborhood. And finally, the most expensive home that sold was this modern style mid-century home, and it sold for $1.1 million. And I mean, it's on a setting with 5 1/3 acres, and I mean, just a real beautiful home. And that's what you get in some of these neighborhoods here. You'll have some really, really nice homes, but there'll also be a section where there's a lot of larger homes as well. But like I say, that's the Forest Hills neighborhood, another really nice neighborhood here just north of town, well, not north of town, just toward the northern side of town off North Augusta Street. All right, for neighborhood number 3, we're just going to go right next door to our last neighborhood. We're going to go into the College Park neighborhood, which is also a very well-established neighborhood. Now, unlike some of the first 2 neighborhoods that we saw, there's not as many large homes in this neighborhood, and so it's a much more economically friendly neighborhood. But the homes here were built between 1926 and 2011, with most of them being built in the 50s and 60s. There's a lot of different types of homes here: ranches, Cape Cods, 2 stories, colonials, and like I say, there's plenty of options here when it comes to type of homes. Nice little winding streets that go through the neighborhood here, and of course you'll see as we're driving here a lot of mature trees, which that's the setting of neighborhoods built about 50, 60, 70 years ago. 28 homes have sold here over the last 2 years, and there's currently 2 that are active on the market. Of those that have sold, their median price was $309,000, and they ranged in price all the way from $152,110 all the way up to $435,000. So in taking a look at those homes, the one that sold for $152,110, nice small little cottage home that needs some updating. So once you get it updated, I'm sure you'll recoup that investment. Now, additionally, the median value home sold for about the median, sold for $318,000, and newly remodeled home. And like I say, it's a really, really nice home now that it's been remodeled. And finally, the most expensive home that sold in the last 2 years has been the $435,000 home that has a unique 3D brick exterior, and kind of very unique home. But like I say, kind of gives you an idea of some of the homes here in the College Park neighborhood. Okay, for neighborhood number 4, we have the Ingleside neighborhood. And Ingleside neighborhood is almost, it doesn't look like it should be in Staunton, but it is. And it's also our first neighborhood that is really a very rural neighborhood that's inside the Staunton city limits. Now, almost all the homes here in Ingleside, by the way, this is a very new neighborhood when it comes to homes being built, and almost all the homes in this neighborhood are in the Old South Village or in the newly developing South View neighborhood as well. Build dates go back to about 2008, and building is going like crazy today. As a matter of fact, if you want to know more about Old South Village, Leslie and I did one video on Old South Village entitled Staunton's Fastest Growing Neighborhood. And you can watch that video by taking a look here. Now, additionally, the Old South Village, it has some incredible views. That's what makes the Old South Village and the new South View that's going in an absolutely amazing neighborhood, the views that you have here. Now, as far as the feel goes, you definitely have a rural feel, because you just don't feel like you're inside a town out here. Now, there's been 23 homes that have sold in the last 2 years, 12 that are pending. I told you it was moving quickly, and there's 4 that are currently for sale. The price in this of the homes here, the median prices have been $455,000, and it's ranged in price from $361,000 all the way to $650,000. The lowest sold home here was a cottage style home that sold for $362,500. The median priced home was the Craftsman style home in Old South Village that sold for $455,000, like the one before it. And then why not stay in Old South Village? Well, not the most expensive home. The most expensive home was all by itself somewhere. But this home in Old South Village sold for $605,000, and it is a beautiful Craftsman style home. All right, so we are in the New Hope neighborhood here in Staunton. And now New Hope is vastly still unbuilt on. There's a lot of open space here in the neighborhood, and really most of the homes lie along New Hope Road and National Avenue, with 2 of the popular subdivisions being Winbrook and Foxcrest. Now, Foxcrest is a little bit more exclusive than Winbrook, but both of these neighborhoods are a new or newer type neighborhoods. Matter of fact, these 2 subdivisions building began in 2005, and it still continues today, as you can obviously see as we drive through the neighborhood here in Winbrook. There's a mixture of different types of homes here, but the one thing about them is you're going to get a rural suburban feel, with the exception of you've got Interstate 81 that heads up and down east-west, and sometimes that can create a little noise every once in a while here in the Winbrook neighborhood. But overall, like I say, it's a nice, quiet neighborhood. 21 homes have sold in the entire New Hope area in the last 2 years, ranging in price from $275,000 to $478,000. Doesn't mean that that's the top of the limit. There are certainly others, but the median price is $373,000. And there's 5 that are currently pending here in Winbrook, and there's also 2 that are currently active on the market. Now, as far as the lowest cost home goes, it looks like I've disappeared there on the screen going into the sun. Nice that the sun came out, right? But the lowest cost home sold is ranch style, not in Winbrook or Foxcrest, either one. It's set on 0.92 acres, and boy, I kind of a deal. Maybe a little bit of work in it, but it only sold for $275,000. The median price home that sold was this two-story traditional, sold for $370,000. And then the most expensive home also sold in Winbrook, is two-story as well, and it sold for $478,000. And like I said, that's pretty indicative of the homes here in the Winbrook neighborhood, between the 3s and mid-4s or so. So that is the New Hope neighborhood. Like I say, a lot of area of still undeveloped area, and very, very pretty drive out to these neighborhoods. All right, so our next neighborhood is a historic neighborhood. Matter of fact, it's my favorite historic neighborhood. There's a lot of other great historic neighborhoods here in Staunton, but this is my favorite. That is the Gospel Hill neighborhood. And Gospel Hill neighborhood and the historic district that goes along with it, it's on the National Register of Historic Places. And obviously, there's many historical homes. There's a lot of grand homes in this neighborhood as well. Now, you're going to see styles in here from Victorian style homes to colonial revival style homes, and even Greek Renaissance, Greek revival style homes as well. Now, all of this neighborhood, or most of it, is within very easy walking distance of downtown and the art scene and culture and all the shopping and restaurants. I mean, man, it's just a great place if you want to live in an older home that is a classic home, and in many cases a larger home. Doesn't mean that all the homes are that way, but many of them are. Now, this neighborhood also contains the Waverly Green neighborhood, which is mostly made up of attached homes, condominium homes, and it's a nice place for to purchase a condo. And additionally, if you're looking for condos, another great place is the Villages at Staunton as well. Now, in this neighborhood, 11 homes have sold in the last 2 years, and 5 of them have been condos. There's currently 2 pending and 1 currently for sale. Values have ranged from $177,000 all the way up to $1,400,000. Hi there, folks. And now when we look at the lowest cost of a home, that was a 968 square foot condo that went for $177,000. The median value home was, again, not a historic home, a big large one, but it was $225,000, and a nice little ranch style home. Now, the most expensive, I mean, who could pass on this if you had the money and wanted it? This beautiful Queen Anne style home. I mean, a total of 9,525 square feet of living space, of which 6,573 is finished. And I mean, and then it's on a beautiful estate setting. I mean, what an absolutely beautiful home, and kind of shows you some of the character here in the Gospel Hill neighborhood. All right, so let's move back up on North Augusta Street here, and let's go on one of my favorite neighborhoods, and that is Baldwin Place. Now, Baldwin Place is a very well-established neighborhood. Build dates in here are from about 1987 to 2006. Now, these are Williamsburg-style homes, and they have like wooden shingles and copper downspouts and flashing and gutters, and there's a village green here in the middle of the neighborhood as well, and there's a lot of small cul-de-sacs off one side and to the other of the main roads that go through this neighborhood. It's just a really nice, neat neighborhood with these Williamsburg style homes. Now, over the last 2 years, there's been 9 homes that have sold in this neighborhood. There are currently none that are for sale, but the median price of the homes in this neighborhood were $575,000, and the price range was between $419,000 and $1,330,000. Now, most home values in this neighborhood, if you were to break it down though, are between about $450,000 and $750,000. So when taking a look at the 3 types of homes again, the least expensive home that's sold here in this neighborhood over the last 2 years was this smaller, I say smaller, but it's still a lot of square footage in this Williamsburg style home that sold for $419,000. The median home value, $557,000, was this Williamsburg home. It has a beautiful brick patio on the back. And then finally, the most expensive home that sold was that $1,330,000 home, and it sold. It has 3 bedrooms, but don't let that 3 bedrooms mislead you, because there's 18 rooms in this home, and just a really, really nice, neat home here. And like I say, big gambit here in Baldwin Place, and again, one of my favorite neighborhoods, and sometimes a hard neighborhood to get into, but if you're interested in a classical Williamsburg style home, this is a great neighborhood for you to be in. All right, so for our next neighborhood, we've just gone right behind Baldwin Place, and we are now in Baldwin Acres. Now, Baldwin Acres is kind of similar to Forest Hills and College Park, but the homes here are a little bit upgraded from College Park. But there's homes here that are similar as well, but there's also larger homes, million-dollar homes in this neighborhood in certain parts as well. Now, build dates here between 1950 and 2005, but most of the homes were built between 1950s through the 1970s. Of course, there's multiple style homes here: Cape Cods, ranches, 2 stories, colonials, whatever you like. You're probably going to be able to find it here in this large neighborhood. Lots of nice winding tree-lined streets, and you really do get more of a suburban small town feel in this neighborhood. Now, over the last 2 years, there's been 14 homes that sold in this neighborhood. There's currently 5 though that are pending right now, so hot neighborhood right now, and there's 1 home that's currently on the market. Now, the median price of those homes that sold over the last 2 years was $478,000, and the price range all the way from $305,000 all the way up to $1,595,000. So again, a big range here. Now, the lowest cost home in this neighborhood that sold for $305,000 was this really nice little ranch style home, and kind of just gives you a good idea of, you know, how nice of a neighborhood it is that you can get in a neighborhood like this for $305,000. Now, the median valued home here in the neighborhood went for $465,000, and there's been lots of updating that was done in this home to make it really, really nice. And then additionally, the most expensive home is a mansion on almost 11 acres. And of course, it sold for $1,595,000, and it's absolutely a beautiful place. I mean, what can you say? A very pastoral setting as well. And it's similar to the Baldwin Place home that we just took a look at. This home, though, don't let that 4 bedrooms fool you like the 3 bedrooms in the last one. This one has 21 rooms in the house, so you will have plenty of room in this large house here in Baldwin Acres. All right, so neighborhood number 9 is Virginia Place. Now, Virginia Place is a small neighborhood on the western side of Staunton, which is really made up of just 2 subdivisions. Virginia Place is the name of the neighborhood and a subdivision, and Sherwood Estates is the other subdivision. Now, this is a newer neighborhood. The homes here were built between 1994 and 2007, and there's lots of split foyer homes in this neighborhood, and there's some 2-story and ranch homes as well. Now, you're going to find, you know, a few little cul-de-sacs here and 1 or 2 winding streets, and but it's really, since it's at the edge of town, it really gives you that rural feel. Now, there's been 18 homes that have sold in this neighborhood in the last 2 years, and 1 home is currently pending, and 1 home is currently for sale. Now, the homes that sold, the median price was $285,000, which makes it a really nice, affordable neighborhood. Additionally, the range of homes here is between $260,000 and $345,000. Now, we go to the lowest price home that sold. We go to this nice little ranch style home that sold for $260,000. The median home value here, this home is a split foyer home, and it sold for $285,000. Now, I know a lot of people don't like split foyer homes. I understand you have the steps, but boy, they have a lot of room in them. And then finally, last but not least, the most expensive home that sold here in this neighborhood was another ranch style home that was a larger ranch style, obviously. It sold for $345,000. So I'll give you an idea here on the western side of town what the Virginia Place neighborhood is like. All right, so neighborhood number 10, the Mountain View neighborhood, another well-established neighborhood here in Staunton. And now, Mountain View, not to be confused with Mountain View Subdivision on the other side of town. This neighborhood is made up of basically 3 subdivisions, Waverly Farms, Belmont Terrace, and Woodlawn. Now, build dates amongst these 3 subdivisions were between 1940 and 2009, but most of the homes were built between 1950 and 1990. Again, different prices of homes mean there's going to be different styles of homes as well, and just some really nice wooded lot settings, mature trees, and some of the homes even sit on hills and have some really nice views of the Blue Ridge Mountains. 7 homes have sold in this neighborhood over the last 2 years, and there are 2 currently pending. Of the ones that sold, the median price was $435,000, and they ranged between $103,000 and $625,000. Now, Waverly Farms and Belmont have the more exclusive, I guess you would say, or upscale homes, and Woodlawn has some more affordable homes, but they're very nice as well. Woodlawn's homes run you about $275,000 to $400,000. Belmont Terrace about $350,000 to $450,000, and Waverly Farms about $350,000 to $550,000 as well. The lowest price home in this neighborhood was in the Woodlawn neighborhood. It sold for $160,000. You say, wow, what a bargain. But it might not look like much in this picture, but home was really overgrown and needed a whole lot of work inside it. But again, you're going to recoup that investment. Median priced home was this American folk style home that sold for $435,000 in 2022. Then it turned around and sold for $470,000 in 2023. It's just absolutely beautiful inside. And then finally, last but not least, the most expensive home in this neighborhood, also in Waverly Farms, was this colonial style home that you see here. It sold for $500,000, and it's like the other. It's beautiful inside, but that'll give you an idea of some of the home values. Not to say there isn't some that's more than that, but that gives you kind of an idea of some of the home values in these neighborhoods. All right, so at the end of the video, I told you I'd give you 5 honorable mention neighborhoods, and here they are. And honestly, any one of these neighborhoods could have been in the top 10. For one reason or another, they weren't there, but arguably they could have been there. For example, Brayburn only had 2 homes sell in the last 2 years, so it didn't qualify. The other neighborhoods are Carsbrook and Crosscrest, Hillcrest, and Selma. Selma is a very popular neighborhood, hard one not to put in there, and like I say, could be in that top 10. But anyway, those are the top 10 neighborhoods that I chose. What do you think? Who wants to say their neighborhood is better? Comment down below, tell me why. I don't have no doubt you may have some good ground to stand on. But if you live in one of these neighborhoods, comment down below as well and let me know about why you like your neighborhood so much. Like I say, it was really hard to narrow 69 neighborhoods here in Staunton down to just 10, well, 15 really, I guess. But those are the ones that I feel are arguably the 10 best neighborhoods in all of Staunton. Now, how does Kirby AI measure up with all that? Well, it looks like we agreed on 2 out of 10 neighborhoods. And I think that just kind of gives you an idea that even though you get information from AI, it's general information, you really need to be on the ground to see a lot different various types of properties and different types of neighborhoods to kind of get the kind of place that you want to live in, the one that suits your needs and what you're looking for. And like I say, I figured, you know what, let's finish up here in Gypsy Hill Park, right in the middle of Staunton. What a beautiful park we have here in town. And I mean, there's the Gypsy Hill train, there's the swimming pool here, there's tennis courts, there's a beautiful pond that you see behind me here, baseball fields, and just so much more here as well. And like I say, at the end of the day, Staunton's a beautiful town. And if you're interested in selling your home here in town, or you're interested in purchasing a home here in town, Leslie and I would be more than happy to help. If you've watched our videos, you know what to do. Just click on that description down below and look at it, and all the information is there. And reach out to us in any way, and we'll be happy to help. So the rain stayed away, and boy, we ended up with an absolutely beautiful day here in Virginia's beautiful Shenandoah Valley and in the town of Staunton. I just kind of want to soak it all in, but I'll do that when the video gets over. But until next time, I will see you around town.